Good day, everyone. I am Cecile S. Gentova, Teacher 3 of the Social Studies Department of the Antique National School, DepEd Division of Antique. Together with me is my co-author, Dr. Dennis V. Madrigal, Dean of the University of Negros Occidental Recoletos, Bacolod City. I would like to present to you our paper entitled Exploring the Relationship Between Classroom Climate and Academic Performance of public junior high school students. For the rationale of the study, classroom climate refers to a collective set of educational, psychological, social, cognitive, organizational, and physical variables that may affect students' achievement. The perceptions of student and classroom climate significantly affect learning, motivation, satisfaction, and achievement. The study intended to determine the degree of classroom climate on the campus and its relationship to junior high school students' academic performance in a public school. The findings of the study were utilized as a basis for designing an enhanced school improvement plan to promote a positive classroom climate towards a more improved academic performance of students. Previous studies conducted focused on the influence of student-centered classrooms on the academic achievement of students and association a positive classroom with higher academic achievement of the students. However, the classroom climate remained a less explored construct in creating so much dearth in the local literature. This study theorized that the classroom climate is associated with academic performance. A positive classroom climate leads to higher academic achievement of students. Grounded on the theoretical assumption that classroom climate is associated with academic performance, the study is anchored on self-determination theory. The self-determination theory is a systematic learning theory that posits that psychological needs in the context of competence, relatedness, and autonomy with the social context affect the wellness of that context. In line with this, the study theorized that a positive classroom climate in terms of discipline, learning assessment, attitude and culture, student interactions are the different components of the system that is linked with academic performance. As a structure implied in the study's context, a high degree of discipline, learning assessment, attitude and culture, and student interactions together as a system that leads to an improved level of academic performance. Hence, the school administrators should always seek ways to improve the degree of classroom climate in terms of discipline, learning assessment, attitude and culture, and students' interaction. The study employed the quantitative research design using the descriptive, comparative, and correlational approaches. The respondents of the study were the junior high school students and teachers in a public school in Antique. The researchers adopted and modified the classroom climate inventory was used. Descriptive analysis were used to assess the degree of classroom climate in the categories of discipline, students' interaction, learning assessment and attitude and culture, and the level of students' academic performance of a public school in Antique. The researchers used mean and standard deviation. Comparative analysis was used to assess the degree of classroom climate when classified according to the designation. The Mann-Whitney U-test was used to determine the significant difference in the degree of classroom climate. Spearman rank correlation was used to determine the significant relationship between the degree of classroom climate and academic performance. For the result of the study, when taken as a whole, the respondents reported a high degree of classroom climate. Learning assessment had a highest mean score. When classified according to designation, teachers reported a high degree of classroom climate for teachers. Discipline had the highest mean score. Students reported a high degree of classroom climate, meaning to say the high degree of classroom climate indicated that the prevailing mood, attitude, standards, and tone inside the classrooms are conducive for facilitating learning. Moreover, the high degree of student interactions implies that students and teachers in a public school in Antique has a high degree of interrelations, sense of belongingness, and interactions. Moreover, the high degree of learning and assessment indicated that assessment strategies in the classroom are student-centered, dynamic, and reflective through clear and attainable assessment targets. The findings imply that assessment strategies promote a sense of competence of the students, allowing them to reflect on their learning progress systematically. In addition, the high degree of attitude and culture in the classroom of a public school in Antique imply that students feel a sense of community, collectiveness, and openness in the classroom. In terms of level of academic performance of junior high school students, when taken as a whole, students were proficient in their academic performance, which means that the level of academic performance of junior high school students is very satisfactory. According to the Department's Standard of Education, all grade levels reported proficient academic performance in the first and second quarters of the school year 2019-2020. In terms of difference in the degree of classroom climate, the results showed the significant difference in the degree of classroom climate when assessors are grouped according to designation. There was significant difference in the degree of classroom climate in terms of discipline, learning assessment, and attitude and culture when grouped according to designation. There was no significant difference in the degree of classroom climate in terms of student interaction when grouped according to designation. Hence, the null hypothesis was partly rejected and accepted. The significant difference in the degree of classroom climate when assessors are classified according to designation implies that teachers have a more positive perception of the degree of classroom climate. This may be attributed to teachers' experience in terms of the improvement of discipline, learning assessment, attitude, and culture through the years. Moreover, no significant difference in classroom climate in terms of student interactions implies that the teachers and students have a high degree of interrelatedness, sense of belongingness, and interactions among students and teachers in a public school in Antique. It means that a student can freely communicate with teachers. In addition, the high degree of student interactions show that students can easily connect and communicate with their classmates and peers in the classroom. In terms of relationship between classroom climate and academic performance, there was no significant relationship between the degree of classroom climate and academic performance. Hence, the null hypothesis was accepted. The findings showed that there are other factors linked with a student's academic performance in a public school in Antique. Overall, the study's findings refuted the initial theoretical assumptions that classroom climate in terms of discipline environment, student interactions, learning and assessment, and attitude and culture is associated with academic performance. Moreover, the study's findings reveal that academic achievement is a complex system associated with many factors, not only limited to the context of the classroom environment. Classroom climate describes a part of the external factors that affect academic performance of the students. There is a need to examine other factors associated with academic performance to enhance further students' academic performance. For the conclusion, teachers view classroom climate in a more ideal and institutional perspective compared to students. In this regard, teachers need to collaborate with students to attain a more positive classroom climate. Likewise, teachers need to revisit the areas of discipline environment, learning assessment, and attitude and culture to utilize effective discipline strategies, various address various learning styles, and share high expectations with students. In addition, in the non-association between classroom climates and academic performance implies that the public school has been performing well despite the problems and issues in the classroom climate. There may be other factors that may account for the level of academic performance of the junior high school students in a public school in Antique. Hence, school administrations and teachers must integrate student-related factors such as improvement of students' well-being, reduction of academic stress, improvement of study habits, and discipline when creating school improvement plans. Moreover, while the study has described interesting findings in classroom climate and academic performance, it is confronted by several limitations, primarily the study being self-report. Some of the respondents may have not accurately described their classroom climate. In addition, the study evaluated a limited sample of junior high school learners. Finally, this study was conducted in a public school in Antique, Philippines. Thus, the findings may not be generalizable in other contexts. Therefore, findings must be interpreted with great prudence and caution. Hence, qualitative or mixed method research design, which expanded participants in both public and private schools, may provide more insights and generalizable findings in the future. And here are the references cited in the study. And for the outcome of the study is the findings of the study were utilized as a basis for designing an enhanced school improvement plan to promote a positive classroom climate towards a more improved academic performance of the students. As a researcher, my insight is that be passionate, positive, and persevere. This is what I have learned through my research journey as a graduate school student of RBGS UNOR Bacolod City. I believed being passionate about my research paper is the most important thing, and that is the reason my dean and my advisor, Dr. Dennis V. Madrigal, often encourages me to choose research topics that I am truly interested in. Apart from my passion, I must also need a positive attitude to help me go through the difficult times in this long journey. However, I tried my best to go on and continue to keep a positive state of mind by focusing on my strengths and using them as a catalyst for achieving my goals. Since doing research is very tough, I continue to pursue with a tremendous amount of perseverance, especially in times of lockdown because of COVID-19 pandemic. To keep going in order to succeed, perseverance becomes my key factor for academic success. Furthermore, my research journey was full of excitement, surprises, challenges, and uncertainties. The process of MA program is like an emotional roller coaster since you may experience many ups and downs during the process. However, I never regret taking my MA program, and now it's another milestone. I'm on my PhD program and still continuing the research journey. What I need to do is to keep working hard and to be passionate, positive, and persevere. Thanks to my mentor, Dr. Dennis V. Madrigal, and my spiritual mother, Dr. Chris Vedrajego of UNOR RBGS Bacolod. Once again, thank you.